They don't need to know all this stuff that, again, it's not very relevant for customers, or it's kind of repetitive because they use the system to import products. Under variants, we talked about metal color, so you can actually modify this if it's, let's say, everything's not capitalized. You want it to look nicer. The product price here, this is where you add the price. If you have multiple variants of the same product, you can go ahead and actually just click change all prices here, set a new value, and let's say you want to go $12.95 for these, right? But we know that this is probably worth closer to $17.95, $18.99, right, or $19.99. So you see immediate value there. And then you click on the images, and sometimes you'll see images that are irrelevant to the product, so you want to make sure they're not clicked. But some of these images, like this one, like this one, like this one, this one, this one, right? Because there's 3 variants of 3 different colors. This one, I like the layout behind with some wood in it. It's your fingers, so you can kind of see or get a gauge for the size of it. And this product's already selected. So if there aren't any other images that you want to import with that product, you simply go ahead and click push to shop. So one of the things I didn't do here, I like that. This I didn't fix. So I'm just going to do that since I want to show you guys how it's going to look. And we did this already. So we're going to show you guys exactly how to, once this is done, how to actually start creating the ad itself and what that's going to look like on Facebook. So I'm just going to say fashion deer stud earrings for women, or fashion deer stud earrings, and just leave it at that. Jewelry, earrings. And once that's the case and everything's there, so again, obviously this is not complete. So once it's in Shopify, we can add more to this description. Variant, prices are there, colors are good to go. The images are already selected, so I can just click push to shop, and it's gonna show up. So under back to Shopify, if you go to products, they're going to be in here, stud. It's a stud here. Here they are, right? So the product imported right into Shopify. Now you can come in and add images here, the trust badges, right? So that people feel comfortable that their transaction is going to be secure. And oops, we can do that again. And you can see that it's pretty straightforward. At this point, you save it. And you can modify, you can clean up the images here. You can move them around. You can add more text to this, which I recommend. Just don't leave it like that, right? Say, put something nice here where you can say, beautifully designed earrings, stud earrings, and put something here. Right, and again, I wouldn't just leave it like that. Actually, I would add maybe 1 or 2 more sentences. And again, I can spell earrings. It's funny. So add a little bit here because again, you want it to look nice in the product page, right? So let me save this here and let's go to the product page. You can click here under the name. It says view. It takes you right into the product page, right? And voila, you have a product. And we probably already have this product in the store. So I wanted to just show you guys how it would look if you did it yourself. So the design of the layout of the product page is already based on your theme. And you can go back and on the theme, customize theme, you can actually change the color of the buttons and the text and all of that. But the layout's pretty straightforward. And you want to make sure it's going to look good on mobile. So one quick trick is if you don't have a mobile, you can just come here and minimize the page or minimize the window here and you kind of see how it looks on a smaller screen. So it looks nice. It looks clean. You can see the images right. You have a couple of options of the other images of the product. The title is right there. Price is there. You can see that there's value in the product, and then they can add to cart, right? So that's the perfect way to add a product to this store. And you do that selectively so you can add quality products that you like and that you feel comfortable selling. And before you know it, you have a few or a handful of products that you want to sell. And you can now create sections within your store, collections, what they call collections. And if you want to see a collection for jewelry, that can be one collection. You can have a collection for house decoration. You can have one for clothing, right? And you can do that. All right. So that's the AliExpress transfer Oberlo product. Just a recap of that. So now let's move into Facebook. Very, very important. So let's say that you already have a product. You already have exactly what you want to advertise. And let's say it's going to be something like this. Now, when you set up your business account, you're going to have a window just something like this that you'll be able to see the ad account that you've created, and you're going to be able to actually add or access the Facebook fan page that you created. So if I click on this fan page, which I already had it open, but if I click on the fan page, I'll let it load. Let's see what we see. All right, so this is a fan page for white-tailed deers, right? This fan page has 126,000 people that have liked the page. That's a lot of people that love deers, right? And as you can tell, we just got started because of the boot camp. We just got started in cleaning up the fan page in regards to posts, making sure that we're posting. So you see here the post reach is down because we're not advertising right now. So these numbers are just going to start increasing over the next week or so. So that next time we're here, you're going to start seeing some of these numbers go up. But you can see here, just 4 hours ago, one of our staff members posted this funny picture of deers. Looks like they're fighting. And already 38 people have liked it, 13 shares, right? 13 shares just in 4 hours organically, just from the people that are liking this page. So this is the kind of responses you're going to be seeing on a fan page once it starts growing, right? Once you select a niche, you focus on what that niche is going to be for your store, and you build a fan page, your community around it, and you start posting relevant, funny, engaging content, whatever that looks like for that niche that you've selected. And you do it consistently because you want to make sure that people stay engaged in the page so that when you eventually start selling a product or you list a new product, that people already, because they're engaged and because they already recognize the fan page, they're immediately going to jump on it. There's a trust factor, and you're going to start seeing sales sometimes happen without even you advertising, just simply from the fan page alone, right? 13 shares means if this was a product or there was a product link of, let's say, the antlers, you see 13 people have already shared the post. That means that without any type of advertising, 30 people have liked it, 13 people have shared it. And that means that when they share it, who saw it from their pages, who saw it, their friends, and whoever sees their post on their newsfeed also saw this post. So this is pretty cool. Now, on the advertising account, right? The advertising account, hopefully you already have this set up as well. We're going to do advertising, and very important that we set up the advertising account properly so that you can see the proper or the metrics that are going to be the most important to you, the KPIs that you want to be tracking on a daily, weekly basis to make sure that your advertising is actually profitable. Domingo mentioned at the beginning to make sure that you don't spend too much money or have a high budget with campaigns. You want to be very conscious of that because even though $10 might not seem like a lot, right? When you're advertising multiple campaigns and multiple products, $5, $10 adds up very quickly. And we don't want to have you be discouraged because you don't see results and you've already spent $20, $50, $100. Now, I'm not going to promise results in $20, $50, $100 in advertising, but with $20, $50, $100 in advertising, you're going to start seeing some numbers, some metrics. And these metrics that I'm going to go over are going to give you information as to what exactly is happening with your ad, right? So let me explain the Ads Manager really quick. This Ads Manager is basically your dashboard for advertising. You're going to live and breathe advertising, Facebook advertising in this page alone here. This is going to give you a wealth of information that you need to be able to see exactly what's going on a day-to-day basis. So the way that it's set up is you have an account overview. If you click on account overview, you're going to see basic information. You're going to see website purchases, reach. So how many people have actually been reached with your ad? How much have you spent? right? And these numbers are based on the time frame that you selected here, right? So if I was to say, just let's give an example. Last time we were using this account for training, it was last year. So if we just click on lifetime to just kind of see what it's done, look at that, right? This is when it was active. This is really cool. 6,965 purchases on the store. We have been able to reach over 3 million people and spend $62,000 in advertising. Well, you might think, wow, $62,000, I could never do that, or that's way too much money. I thought exactly the same thing. But this is what happens. When you start out with a small budget, right? Let's say you have $500 or $1,000 that you want to say, hey, this is going to be my budget for advertising so I can get my store going, right? In the process of you learning, in the process of you following our strategy, you're going to be spending money in advertising, but you're also going to be generating results. You're going to start generating clicks and engagement, and we're going to start fine-tuning that. And hopefully with the training, you're going to start seeing that those numbers are going to get better and better. Eventually, hopefully, you're going to have a sale, and that's going to be super exciting when you have your first sale. And then it goes from there. So if you start generating a sale, and let's say it costs you $5 or $6, let's say $10 to generate the sale, it costs you $5 for the product, but you sold it for $20, then that means you have a 25% margin. Right, so of course there are some processing fees there and whatever, but let's just keep it black and white. So if you're making $20 per sale and it's costing you $10, and you know there's like a $5 product cost and shipping, that means you're making $5 for every purchase. So if you're making $5 for every single time that you spend $10, right? So let's say you spend $10 and you get $20. How much money are you going to spend? Well, as much money as you can, right? You're going to spend as much money as you can, and that's the process of scaling that we'll be talking next week and the week after that. Because that's how you start getting to a point where you're spending $100, $200, $300 a day in advertising, but that's only because you're going to be making $500, $600, $700, $800 or more in sales a day with that ad spend, advertising spend, right? So don't get frightened by that number, because it can easily be that amount. This is just one ad account for one training course. This is not any of our main accounts, but this account was utilized for training purposes, and it definitely generated results. As you can see here, 6,965 purchases, which is very, very exciting, because if the average order was $20, you can do the math on what that might look like, right? So you also then have the campaign. So the campaign is really your advertising goal. Your advertising goal. And you can write that down. Your advertising goal is that campaign. So if I was to click on create, right, here it is. Your marketing objective or your advertising goal, your marketing objective is what the campaign is, right? And you have three options: awareness, consideration, and conversion. Awareness means Coca-Cola does a lot of awareness, right? They already have millions upon millions upon millions of customers. All they want to do is stay top of mind so that they can continue to generate those sales. So they can do a lot of brand awareness. They're going to do engaging videos and images and put it out there to their customers and people that look like their customers, so that they can continue to get in front of their customers and potential customers to generate those sales. For e-commerce, we are going to start off potentially with engagement, but ultimately with conversions. And I'll talk about that. Consideration means you have something that the audience that you're going to be advertising to needs to consider, right? When I do, for example, I'll just throw something out there. So when I do advertising for lead generation, right? So lead generation for a service, maybe I'll probably do something along the lines of traffic, right? So if I want to get traffic to a landing page or to a product page, traffic is very powerful. If I have a brand new pixel, a brand new store, right? One of the strategies out there is that I'm going to do an engagement campaign first for them to kind of get familiar with the product and engage with the ad. But then at the same time, there are other strategies out there that say that's not necessary. right? That's not necessary because